Your cat has been sending you a message for years, and you've been ignoring it. Not out of cruelty, not out of neglect, but because almost everything we think we know about cats, the way we hold them, talk to them, play with them, even love them, has been quietly wrong. And the consequences? Researchers who study feline behavior say they're more serious than most owners ever suspect. Some of the habits on this list seem completely harmless. A few even feel affectionate, but to your cat, they register as something else entirely. This is what the science actually says, and once you hear it, you won't be able to unsee it. Number 1, staring directly into your cat's eyes. Most people do this automatically. You're sitting across from your cat, you lock eyes, and it feels like a moment of connection. But here's where it gets interesting. In the feline world, a direct, unblinking stare is not affection. It's a challenge. It's what cats do right before a fight breaks out. When a stranger, human or animal, holds a cat's gaze without looking away, the cat's nervous system interprets it as a threat display. Blood pressure rises, the tail begins to flick, and that cat you thought you were bonding with, it's now scanning the room for an exit. The correct signal, the one that says, "I trust you" in cat language, is a slow, deliberate blink, followed by looking away. That tiny gesture communicates more safety than 10 minutes of cooing ever could. And if you think that's unusual, wait until you hear the next one. Number 2, picking your cat up without warning. You've seen it 100 times. Someone reaches down, scoops up a cat mid-stride, and pulls it into a hug. The cat goes stiff. The tail lashes. The human doesn't notice. Cats are ambush predators, but they're also prey animals. That dual nature means they are constantly monitoring their environment for sudden, uncontrolled movements. When you grab a cat from above without warning, you've just replicated the exact physical sensation of being caught by a hawk. Most cat owners never realize this, but the cats who don't like to be held are often not antisocial at all. They've simply learned to associate being picked up with that spike of helpless terror, and they never forgot it. The strange part is, it doesn't take much to change this. A moment of eye contact, a hand extended first, a single second of consent. That pause rewires the entire experience for your cat. But here's where it gets more complicated. Number 3, using punishment to correct behavior. If you've ever spritzed a cat with water, clapped loudly, or pushed it off a counter with frustration, you weren't alone. And for decades, people believed it worked. But what the research actually shows is something far more unsettling. Cats don't connect punishment with the behavior you're trying to stop. Their brains aren't wired that way. What they do connect punishment with is you. A 2021 study on companion animal behavior found that cats subjected to aversive training methods showed significantly elevated stress markers, and more importantly, began to avoid the person who applied the correction. Not the behavior, the person. So every spray of water isn't teaching your cat a lesson. It's teaching your cat that you are unpredictable, unsafe, a source of fear. And once that association is made, it is extraordinarily difficult to undo. What happened next surprised researchers, because the cats who were never punished showed stronger behavioral compliance over time, not less. The absence of fear created more trust, and more trust created more cooperation. Think about that for a moment. Have you ever used punishment with your cat and wondered why nothing changed? Number 4, forcing social interaction. Cats are not dogs. That sentence sounds simple, but its implications go deep. Dogs evolved alongside humans over tens of thousands of years, developing a neurological drive to seek out human approval and contact. Cats domesticated themselves. They came closer to humans on their terms. And that instinct, that fundamental need for autonomous choice, never left. When you force a cat to sit in your lap, hold it in your arms while it struggles, or carry it around the house against its will, you're not strengthening your bond. You're doing the opposite. You're removing the one thing that makes closeness feel safe to a cat, the ability to leave. Most cat owners never realize this, but the cats who choose to curl up beside you, who follow you from room to room, who headbutt your hand unprompted, They do those things because they've never been forced. The voluntary choice is everything, and that's only the beginning. Number 5, waking a sleeping cat. It seems harmless. Your cat is adorable mid-nap, and you can't resist. But cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day for a reason, and that sleep isn't optional downtime. It's when their nervous system processes the day, when their muscles repair, when their predator instincts reset. Disrupting that cycle repeatedly, even gently, creates a low-grade chronic stress that accumulates over time. Behavioral researchers have linked interrupted sleep in cats to increased aggression, hypervigilance, and a shorter tolerance threshold for everyday interactions. The strange part is, your cat probably never showed you it was bothered. Cats suppress discomfort instinctively. It's a survival mechanism. The stillness you interpret as patience may be something else entirely. Number 6, using a high-pitched baby talk voice constantly. Here's something most people won't expect. Cats do respond to your tone of voice. Studies confirm it. But there's a critical distinction that changes everything. Cats respond to familiar voices speaking in calm, affectionate tones. What they don't respond well to, especially in prolonged, high-pitched repetition, is the kind of intense, overstimulating vocal energy that signals excitement or unpredictability. For a species that reads microsignals constantly, an erratic, over-animated voice can register as noise rather than communication. It doesn't soothe, it overstimulates. But here's where it gets interesting. Cats understand far more of your emotional state from your voice than previously believed. A 2023 study found that cats could distinguish between speech directed at them versus speech directed at other people, and they responded differently. They're listening. They're reading you. The question is what you're actually saying. Number 7, letting them eat whenever they want without variety. Free feeding, leaving a bowl of dry kibble out 24 hours a day, has become standard practice in millions of homes. And while it feels generous, what it actually creates is a state of permanent dietary monotony that slowly erodes one of a cat's most essential instincts, the hunt. Cats in the wild don't eat the same food at the same time from the same bowl every day. They chase, they stalk, they work for their meal. And that effort, the physical and cognitive engagement of hunting, is deeply tied to their psychological well-being. What happened next surprised researchers studying indoor cat behavior. Cats given food puzzles, rotated protein sources, and varied feeding schedules showed measurably lower stress hormones and significantly higher play engagement. The body was fed, but for the first time, so was the mind.